Alright, so this is my Magispecters, how to beat the Magispecters. So first off, they have the condition at the bottom of their effects that says cannot be targeted by or destroyed by an opponent's card effects. They all have that, right? And their pendulum monsters, and their spellcasters, and their wind types. So those are details to take into account, right? Since they can't be targeted or destroyed, that means stuff like Mirror Force, Dark Host, Exciton Knight, stuff like that won't be so useful against them since they can't be destroyed. And even if you could destroy them that way, they'll just go into the Pendulum deck, into the extra deck face up, and then they can just get Pendulum summoned. So it's kind of counterproductive anyway. But the fact that you can't even destroy them makes it problematic, right? They can't be targeted, so that means stuff like Compulse, Wing Blast, Regeki Break, Deep Prison, Book of Moon, Lance, Forbidden Chalice, let's see, anything of that nature, even monster effects like BLS or Sky Blast or one-on-one effects of that nature won't, since they can't target them, so that's pointless. So you're pretty limited on what you can do against the Magispecters. But they are wind attribute, so you could use a card like Poisonous Winds. It's not typically a card you would main deck, but you definitely would potentially side deck this because it will prevent special summoning of wind attribute monsters, which all the Magispecters are wind. Also, it reduces their attacks by 500 if they decide to normal summon them instead. At least they're getting weaker, so it'll be easier for you to run them over. Because the main way you would beat them, would be through battle. So making them weaker is beneficial. Most people do main deck Banning Emptiness, so this is a way you could prevent the special summoning. Space-Time Trap Hole, since it doesn't target, would be a good way of throwing the Magispecter monsters back into your opponent's deck for a hefty price of 1,000 per each monster you send back to the deck. But it's better than taking the full blunt damage of all their monsters. So you could potentially avoid an OTK by using this, and it's a good main deck card. You can main deck it, of course. Great Horn of Heaven also could be main decked. And it's a pretty good replacement for Black Horn of Heaven, since Black Horn of Heaven can't stop Pendulum summoning unless they only summon one monster, which they typically won't. So Great Horn of Heaven will do the job instead. It can stop Pendulum summoning, plus Synchro Summon, Exceed Summoning, and Fusion Summon that requires contact fuse like Ritual Beast. So this is useful against it, and also will make it where their main phase will end, so immediately end up in battle phase. If they have no monsters, then they can't attack, and then they'll just go to main phase 2 and not be able to do much of anything. So it's pretty useful because at least it avoids the potential of getting attacked. So it's pretty good, but then they get to draw a card, so that kind of sucks. You don't want to give them anything, but hey, it's better than losing, right? Warning, you give up 2,000 life and you can, stop the Pendulum summon, you know what I mean? The thing is the monsters will go to graveyard if you negate their summon. So Warning would send the Pendulum monsters to graveyard, so would Great Horn of Heaven, which is where you rather the Magispecters go, is in the grave instead of the extra deck, because you can't Pendulum from the graveyard. This is not really solemn advice. This is just a substitute for what was it? Solemn retribution? No, solemn retort, something like that. Anyway, I think it's retort. Because retort is, you pay 1,500 life points and you can negate the summon or summons of monsters, blah blah blah. So it's kind of like Warning, but you pay 1,500 instead. So this is just there as a substitute for that card, because it will come out soon. A lot of people will play it because it also has the ability to negate monster effect. Not an effect that will special summon a monster, just monster effect in general. So it's like a Divine Wrath and a Warning all rolled in one. So a lot of people would play it. I know I would, or will be. I'll more likely, I'll take out my Divine Wraths in some of my decks and put in the Solemn card instead. Anyway, MST. Will help you get rid of the Pendulum scale. Not completely, or just at least take away one of the monsters to reduce the Pendulum scale. It won't do much, but it could slow them down, which is the idea. Slow them down from Pendulum summoning and getting a whole bunch of monsters on the field, so that's important. Most people main deck this or side deck it, so it's better than nothing. Skill drain takes away any of their abilities of searching, which you definitely don't want them to do. Plus, it will take away their protection, so they can be destroyed by card effects like Dark Hole and stuff like that, Mirror Force. They'll still go into the extra deck because they're still Pendulum monsters, and they could just be Pendulum summoned the next turn. But at least your Mirror Force wasn't useless like it normally would be. You combo with Skill Drain, your Mirror Force will destroy the monsters, and you can survive that turn to hopefully make a comeback in the following turn and go for game. Especially if you summon something like Beast King Barrels, 3,000 would be hard for them, the Magispecters, to run that over. Trip Tricks, Trap Hole Nightmare. It's a pretty good card because its effect doesn't target, and it doesn't destroy the Magispecters because the Magispecters can't be destroyed. But it will negate any of their effects it searches. Like I played in the game, and I've been Trap Tricks, Trap Hole Nightmare, and my effect gets negated, but my monster doesn't get destroyed. Which is all good for me. I'd rather keep the monster than get the effect, right? But it was interesting. It's like, oh, okay, this card does work against them. That's good to know. So, you can use it. You got it already. You can use it to at least negate their effects. Especially when they were special summon, of course. Like Pendulum summon, then they activate an effect. You can negate it. Won't destroy the monster, but at least you'll negate their effect. Slows them down, but won't completely stop them. Red screen, good defensively. Because the Archtype mainly likes to hurt monsters more than spells and traps, so red screen would stay on the field long enough to stall, to give you time to make a comeback. Obviously I play this card, so it's a good card. I use it a lot against a lot of decks. Since this effect obviously doesn't target, it allows me to attack but doesn't allow my opponent's monsters to attack, so this is useful against them, especially if the whole idea is to destroy them by battle. Lava Golem and the Kaijus. Mainly it's to allow you the ability to let's say you have a Dark Hole in your hand, well then you tribute one of their monsters and one of their Magispecters and give them a Kaiju, then play Dark Hole and then summon a monster and then attack, as an example. That way, because you can't Dark Hole the Magispecters, so give them a Kaiju so you can Dark Hole, because you can Dark Hole the Kaiju will be destroyed by Dark Hole, so this is just a way to allow you the ability to do stuff. Also, if you're playing Griddle or Griddle Kaiju, like I like to, tributing the Magispecter, giving them a Kaiju, summon a Griddle and attack, because the Griddles can't target any of the Magispecters, so you're not going to steal any of them with the Griddles, but you can steal the Kaiju. So tribute one of the Magispecter, give them the Kaiju, summon Griddle, attack, take some damage, take the Kaiju and attack, and now you have a nice little beater, especially a beater you can use to beat down the Magispecters, so that's useful in that way, of course. Lava Golem, It will let you get rid of 2 at the same time in case there's more than 1 on the field, and then, you know, do something like Dark Hole, Marionette Puppet, or Owner Seal, or any other strategy to steal it back and attack with it. If you can stall, it's pretty decent because, of course, you can burn them for 1,000 damage and potentially just beat them that way if you can't beat them any other way, right? That, red screen, boom. Damage for days. Creature Swamp, it's more of like, take their best monster, since this doesn't target, you know, they'll give you one of their Magispecters, you'll give them a monster you can kill, right? And then just start attacking them with something they can't even target or destroy. So then it's just a battle of battles, like just monsters are battling, because spells and traps are irrelevant in Magispecter battles. I already mentioned Spoiling the Wind as a potential main deck or side deck card. And of course, Magispecters have their effects. They have Magispecter Storm. Tribute 1 wind spellcaster type monster, then target 1 monster your opponent controls and shuffle it into the deck. So, I like that card. It's a pretty good normal spell card to get rid of a dangerous card monster. Then of course they have their field spell, which gives them 300 extra attack boost. You contribute a wind type spellcaster type monster and special summon 1 level 4 or lower Magispecter monster from your deck. So this is how you combo with Magispecter, so you can get multiple searches. And fill up your extra deck for Pendulum summoning, Magispecter Tornado, tribute 1 wind type spellcaster type monster. Then target 1 monster your opponent controls and banish it. It's a pretty good card. Not useful against Magispecters themselves, because they can't be targeted, but this is a good card for banishing monsters so they can never hurt you. Magispecter Tempest, this is their counter trap. It's useful against Pendulum summonings, because this does work on when a monster or monsters will be special summoned, or a monster effect is activated. Tribute 1 when spellcaster type monster and they get the special summon or activation if you do destroy that card. So this is obviously useful against, this is not that different from the Solemn Retort card, because it does stop Pendulum summoning and Synchro Summon Exceed summoning, of course, and it can also negate a monster effect, which is very useful, right? So this is their Archtype specific version of that card, but you could also run that card on top of this, so that we have 6 versions of this derpy card, which I can definitely see them do. It's like, oh no, don't do that, too much power, too much counter. Supply Squad is a pretty decent support. These are just some suggestions. If you run Magispecters, since the way they'll typically be defeated is by battle, you know, 1 dies by battle, you draw a card. Save zone, keep it, being able to keep 1 of them on the field from dying from battle. Save zone, you know, since you can't target your own Magispecters when they're on your side of the field, so you can save zone your Unicorn, which is basically your boss monster in this deck. Put it on him, and now he'll stay on the field. Can't die by battle. You can keep using his effect to have some some field control. You know, he's like your Constellar Pleiades. You could also use something like Mistbody, since the whole idea is to make it where he can't be destroyed by battle, and just go from there. You know, you just constantly use his effect over and over and over again. And that's the end of the video.